So in Kuf Pehei, Shulchan Aruch writes that a person has to be careful to say Birkat Hamazon properly, which first of all means the person should hear in his ears the words that he's saying. A person preferably should say the Birkat Hamazon loud enough that he should hear himself say the Birkat Hamazon. If he didn't, as long as he said the words, he moved his lips and he mouthed the words, he'd say the Chovah. But preferably he should say it a little bit audible that he should hear himself. Similar to the Amidah. The Amidah also, you should hear yourself when you say the words, but other people shouldn't hear. That's why Shulchan Aruch writes in Siman Kuf Pehei that a person should not interrupt during Birkat Hamazon. Birkat Hamazon is the Oraita. It's on a higher level than Tefillah. So therefore a person has to make sure that just like Amidah, he's very serious, he's focused, he's not distracted, he's not on his phone during Amidah. So the same thing during Birkat Hamazon. He has to be focused, not talking to people. The Aruch HaShulchan writes, even not to interrupt, to wave, to motion, no, like this during Birkat Hamazon. Also inappropriate. A person would never do that during Amidah. How much more so during Birkat Hamazon? So therefore, it's yesh dinoket tefillah. Shulchan Aruch says it has a status like a Amidah. A person has to make sure not to interrupt. And also, a person should say word by word, like he's counting money. He doesn't say 1, 2, skip a few, 99, 100. He goes and he says each one, he counts each $100 bills. So therefore, a person should also take his time and have patience when he says the Birkat Hamazon. He should be seated. Shulchan Aruch says you have to sit during Birkat Hamazon, because that's the only way that a person will be able to fully focus while he's sitting and give the attention to the Birkat Hamazon. In Kuf Tzadik Gimel, Shulchan Aruch says that even if a person can hear somebody else say Birkat Hamazon, you should always say Birkat Hamazon yourself. Sometimes people say, okay, Davai, my grandson, here, come. You're going to say Birkat Hamazon, we're going to listen. Like this, he says he's listening to Birkat Hamazon. So, a person preferably, he should go and say Birkat Hamazon himself if he knows how to say it. Even if we all understand Hebrew. It's a mitzvah that each of ourselves say Birkat Hamazon. And then Shulchan Aruch says in Sif Bet that if a person doesn't understand Hebrew, you cannot say the Chovah Shomea Keoneh. You cannot fulfill the mitzvah by hearing somebody say it. Yes, the Ramah says, like Rashi, that even if you don't understand Hebrew, Shomea Keoneh, you can fulfill the mitzvah by hearing it as if you said it. But the Kon Shulchan Aruch, he didn't fulfill mitzvah Birkat Hamazon. So therefore, you should always tell everybody in the table, better that each person should say Birkat Hamazon themselves. You don't know how to read Hebrew, read it in Russian. You should always have Russian Siddur, read it in whatever language you understand. That and you can read, and you say Birkat Hamazon yourself. This to say, you're going to say for us, we listen, that's not appropriate, not even when you understand Hebrew, and how much more so, Kon Shulchan Aruch doesn't count, Shomea Keoneh, when you don't understand Hebrew. So it's very important that everybody gets used to saying Birkat Hamazon themselves. And it's very important that we take this mitzvah seriously. The Torah says it's a mitzvah d'oraita. There's a wonderful story about how important it is that during the tefillah and during the learning, a person's not on his phone and doesn't have the noises of the phone bothering him. There's a story of a person who went to go learn in the morning. He always used to learn in the morning, but he used to learn at a time that was very busy, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. So he's a realtor, and a lot of people call him early in the morning. So his rabbi told him, listen, you're on your phone, the whole shiur, vicking you already, enough, you need to learn. So he said, Rabbi, what am I doing? People keep bothering me, calling me. And he says, put it on, do not disturb. Turn it off, that's it. Send them to voicemail, don't answer anything. When you learn, it's as if you're dead. So he said, okay, Rabbi, I'm going to try. So he goes the first day, he went and he did it. He says, I'm going to do it, I'm going to put on do not disturb. No, but everybody's straight to voicemail. So his wife was in the store, and she forgot her phone. So what happens? So she goes and she calls from somebody else's phone. But he didn't know. He sees this number. He doesn't know who this number is. So he calls back. Hello? Who is this? He's, yeah, we tried to reach you. Some lady in the store. She asked me for borrow my phone. She tried to call you. She was in the store. She didn't know what you needed for shopping. So he says, but she already couldn't reach you, so she bought whatever. Okay, thank you very much for helping my wife. Ended up being that he speaks to her and he says, but wait, who is this? I heard the voicemail that says a realty office. You're a realtor? He says, yeah, I'm a realtor. He said, listen, they got into business and he made the biggest money that he made that year from this phone call. That he spoke to this lady, she was looking to sell, and he ended up helping her to sell, and he made a very good parnasa from this. So you see that what if he would have not put his phone on do not disturb, his wife would have reached him, he would have told her, buy mayonnaise, and that's it. But because he put his phone on do not disturb, he called back, she heard his voicemail, so you see that ended up being what? Ended up being that he got a big parnasa from this big bracha. So therefore a person who puts his phone away for a half hour, for 1 hour, for just the tefillah, it's not a lot of time. A person will see a lot of bracha because the kavanah, the Yetzer Hara wants to take our kavanah. And the phones is one way. Used to be Yetzer Hara, you go to Bet Midrash, he doesn't bother you. But now he comes with you in your pocket. You have to make sure to kick him out, to kick the Yetzer Hara out, and don't let him come to the Bet Midrash, to come to Bet Knesset. Baruch Na'olam.